Today marks 381st day. Share lessons I learned and continue to learn with you. I hope these insights will inspire you, support your dreams, help achieve your goals, and really empower you to become the person that you want to become. Today we speak about how to be professional, how to be expert, how to be highest level, how to have high standards. I think that's a great question to ask ourselves. I think when we speak, when we have conversations, when we take actions, when we are around other people, when we are around ourselves, I think that we need to act as professionals, not as amateurs, not as beginners, but as professionals. One thing is that you can really be beginner at something, but act as professional. You can be a beginner, but you act as professional. So they will speak about things that you don't need to be extraordinary good at something to start acting as professional. I think it's very, very important. And I think that people could really raise themselves very fast in business, in maybe in company, and they grow within the company very fast because they understand that no matter where you're at, they're able to act professionally, and because they act professionally, no matter where they are elevated to another level. So I will share seven things that professionals do. Number one is reliability. So that means that they are very dependable. People are able to rely on them. They love responsibility, and that means that they are keeping their promises. Say that they make promises and really keep their promises. So they understand the commitments, the follow-ups, deadlines, those communications with that coming the deadlines, because they know that when you really create commitment and show up for that commitment, really you always create trust. And an interesting thing because trust is built little by little, and the more promise you make that you keep. And I think that we're supposed to be very careful making promises. But when you are professional, you know, understand what kind of promise you're able to make, because the more promise you make and the more promise you keep, the more trust you build. So when you act as a professional, when you want to be very reliable, because when people have a brand of you that you're reliable, that you're dependable, that people are able to count on you, you will grow very, very fast in a business because other business wants to rely on you. They want to depend on you because they want to really have partners that they're able to rely on someone. And in the company, when the senior management want to really rely on someone, so like this person is worthy of of responsibility. And I think people really want to give responsibility, but sometimes we don't act as professionals, and that's why we don't get it. So that means I need to really show that we prepared to take the responsibility. Number two, composure under pressure. This is a very great way to show that you are professional. So that means that one, composure under pressure. So that means that composure under pressure, we can look into that. So a beginner could have pressure. It means that's like just amateur could have pressure, and experts. That means it doesn't matter what level you are in that skill, you will have some pressure, but how you really react in that pressure, that will really dictate if people are able to trust you as well. That means that being able to stay calm even in the when you are feel chaotic, when you feel emotional, but you will still. I think it's being able to really show the emotions that is necessary, but being able to really bring down those emotions that doesn't serve you, doesn't add value. I think that is a great skill to have. Composure under pressure. And I think that one of the beautiful things is that we need to really expose ourselves to pressure, that we can learn how to compose ourselves under that pressure. Because if you've never been exposed to that, some of these people have no idea how they will react to things. They don't understand about themselves. They don't have self-awareness because they never expose themselves to pressure. So one way to understand who is professional is how well they handle pressure. And that's again the gold diamonds don't break that easily under pressure. They don't break at all. But when you think about any kind of plastic, any kind of other material, when you really start to crush it, it crashes immediately, very fast. Number three, respect for others. Respect for others. This is shows professional, massive professionalism. I think that people who speak too much, so this there's coming from insecurities. But when people are able to listen without interruption, shows that the person is humble, person is willing to learn, person is still understanding no matter where he is able to improve, get better. I think the people who really know the most sometimes are the most humble people because they know that the more they know, the more you know, the more you're able to learn. And I think the respect for others is coming for that as well. Because every single person could teach you something. There's nobody could there's no one who could teach everything, but there's everyone could teach you something. And I think that is a very, very beautiful thing. Number four is clarity in communication. And I think that some are experts in their field, but they are not able to communicate. And I always was amazed how many times people who are great in communication outperform experts in their field. I have seen in my studies. I studied finance and accounting, and I saw so many times people who really were much better in finance, much better in accounting, like 10 times, sometimes maybe even better, didn't get position, but the person who had low IQ on finance, low IQ on accounting, but they have high IQ on communication, they got a job. That means that people are really looking for clarity in communication. So that means that sometimes people spend so much time developing their skill set, but they forget that you will need to communicate that skill set. You will need to communicate what you know. And I think sometimes the more results will come studying communication than studying your skill set whatsoever. Because if you're in a skill set at 9, but communication 3, most likely you will communicate at level 3 your skill set. But if you are in your skill set at 7 but your communication 7, that means you can communicate at 7 your skill sets, and of course at that moment you will outperform even someone who is potentially at 9 or even 10, but they just do lack of communication. So clarity in communication is that really something that shows that this person is professional, and that's why it's so obsessed about learning how to express myself. And that's why I started my YouTube channel, that I could learn how to communicate, how to express my thoughts, and really become better communicator. And I think every single person is supposed to choose their way how to learn. And of communication is one thing. You can writing, journal, reading, connecting with other people, and all ways to really just to improve communication. And of course, both speaking all the time. Number five is accountability. Accountability is that from the lenses that you need to really take accountability for your own actions. You made a mistake, take ownership for it. You did something great, give a reward for something. Give her uh, just uh, just being able to really reward other people and really emphasize that there are other people who are involved in your success. I think that's a great beautiful thing. Own your failures and being able to really distribute your wins. I think that's a beautiful thing. And then when we have that accountability and really being able to really fix our mistakes, because one thing is that if you do not take ownership, you're not able to fix. I really learned. I just was listening to the motivational video while I was in gym, and Thomas was saying that it doesn't matter if it's your fault. In my mind, it's my fault because if I say that it's your fault, I give my power away. I really like that. And I think that accountability is the same thing. Sometimes it's just being able to be accountable and take full ownership. It doesn't matter what happened. It doesn't matter whose fault it is, but saying this is my responsibility, my accountability. I'm accountable for that and fixing my own mistakes. And so this, I think that is very, very important. Really being able to get feedback to before the problem grows. Number six, consistent presentation. And that means that true professionals have consistency in their branding. They're able to shift the brand. They're able to shift the way how they want to really be represented by themselves. But have consistency. But if you have one day one way, other way, sometimes we do not know what we're supposed to expect from this kind of person. And when you have no idea what to expect from a person, that means you're not able to fully depend on that person. It's not fully reliable because you don't know like what kind of foot that person will come out of the bed that day. Will it be more casual, will it be more professional, or like this is again even with dressing. And if, even with emotional dressing, what kind of emotions do you really represent yourself? I think because it's consistent presentation, there's so many different things in our emotions. What emotion do we bring? We need to be consistent with our emotions and being able to really allow other people to feel comfortable around us. And the same thing with external presentation as well. I think that is not as important as emotional, because that's a massive red flag. If a person is having one days one emotion, other days other emotions, bipolar, and being able to focus on fixing that you're able to be more calm, more exposed to the positive emotions. I think that's very important. That's how professionals do. They consistently present themselves in a proper way. And last one, number 7, is ethics and integrity. I think that professionals understand how important is integrity, how important is to say one thing and doing the same thing, how important is to live value based on the values, how important is to do the right thing even when it's hard. I think that integrity is a beautiful thing when you have those ethics, because person said like, okay, I want to really bring that person on board because he has integrity. I have heard so many times that integrity is end up being in one of the top values for a lot of business owners, because they know that they will make actions in accordance of integrity, and integrity leads better choices or right choices that are better for the people around us. Because if you do not have integrity, if you do not have integrity, at that moment we can potentially do the right thing for us, but not for all of us. I think that is, again, the person who lacks integrity could focus on self-centeredness. But I truly believe that integrity allows you to being able to really focus on a community, not just yourself. It's important to really focus on ourselves, but but again, we're not supposed to really sacrifice other people just to really to feel better about ourselves. Because there are so many ways to really win, so many ways to win, and I think that one of the most beautiful ways to win as well is just really to take action for ourselves. That doesn't include other people. Because showing up for yourself in the morning, going for a gym when other people are sleeping, that's again showing up for yourself. This is again one of the beautiful things that true professionals do. True professionals show up for themselves, not just for others. And I think that there's more things. There's more things, but I think that this topic is amazing because we're able to start consider, okay, what are the things that really separate amateur from professional? And this beautiful thing that what I will learn when I was reflecting on that topic is that it doesn't matter where you're at. It doesn't matter where you're at, you're able to be and act as a professional. I think this is the key lesson of today. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.